Bryn Decker here, and this video is actually specifically for Mount Zion families. So I just wanted to come to you guys one more time. This is for all of the families that have either chosen or not chosen to do the Parents Guide for Kindergarten Readiness program that I've offered this year totally for free. So if you have missed those emails, that's been going on this year. I've designed a little journey program, whatever you want to call it, for parents to help empower parents to know how to work with their preschoolers to lay a strong literacy foundation. And if you're someone that took advantage of that opportunity, I'm so glad, and I hope that it's been helpful. Those of you that have watched the videos know that I'm a reading specialist and my passion is early childhood literacy. I love helping kids just awaken their minds to words and sounds and writing and feeling confident as readers, writers, and thinkers. And it all starts in preschool. It actually starts around age 2 and 3, believe it or not. But we parents don't necessarily tune into that until our kids are ready to go to kindergarten. And then we realize, ooh, are they ready or are they not? So at this point in the year, we're wrapping up Mount Zion, which has done an amazing job being open, by the way, just kind of giving them a little shout out for their awesome work this year. And they've worked so hard with our kids all year to teach as much as possible around with all the COVID craziness going on. And so at this point, you've kind of watched your child grow this year, and your child's probably in one of a couple places. Either your child has just like caught on to everything and they're doing awesome, and maybe you watch the videos and you're able to appreciate all that growth and you're just feeling amazing. Way to go. That's awesome. That's what we want for all of our kids. But what I know, because I've been doing this for a really long time, is that not all kids are like that. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong, okay? Every child is on a literacy journey of their own. It's a one-size-fits-one process. But the reality is that if your child's been at Mount Zion and you live in East Cobb and you are an educated person with books in your house, reading to your child all the time, your child's been at Mount Zion, which is an incredible preschool, surrounded with awesome teachers who are loving them with a great curriculum, and they're still having trouble remembering their letters, still having trouble putting it together to read words, still having trouble memorizing their sight words, still having trouble becoming a reader, still having trouble writing their name or writing words or you name it, right? All the skills that we've been working on from around 3 years old up to 5 years old. If your child is just struggling or they resist it or it brings them to tears or you try to do the stuff at home and they resist you for whatever reason, if you have that kind of parental gut feeling, if you will, that this is just really hard for my child, I really, really, really want to empower you to figure out what's going on right now before they get into kindergarten next year. Or, you know, if your child's not going to kindergarten next year, right now, before they go to the next level, right? And I want to be your partner in figuring that out. So here's what I'm offering. I'm offering some coaching sessions where you and I can meet for 30 minutes at East Cobb Park. We're just going to sit down and you're going to tell me what you're seeing. Tell me what your teacher said. Tell me whatever you want to tell me, okay? And I want you to just be honest and like tell me, you know, what's worked, what hasn't worked. If you've done absolutely nothing, be honest about that, so that we can kind of see what's gone into this child learning to read and what has taken and what hasn't taken. And then I'm going to design a program for you to do this summer where it'll be like full of games and activities and just multisensory stuff. Which is how kids learn. Now, some of you say, I'm just going to get a tutor and have a tutor work with my kid once a week or something like that. I do that. And that is, for young kids, kind of like a Band-Aid and not necessarily going to do what you hope it's going to do. With young kids, they need literacy woven into their life. They need woven into when you're riding in the car, the games you can play. When you're riding in the car, what you're seeing out the window. When you're reading books at night, what you're weaving in. Okay, they're in a weave it in. They're not in a sit and teach me for 30 minutes and I'm going to absorb everything and do it right there. They're just not because of their age. So really what's best for your child right now is for you to become the expert and for you to have just a handful of activities that you can do and pull out when they're in the mood, because you and I know it's all about when they're in the mood, that sweet spot time. And when they're in the mood, when they're feeling it, or on a rainy day or whatever, you've got something you can pull out and do. Or it might be that with your child you say, okay, every morning for 10 minutes, we're going to keep all this fresh and we're going to play one of these games. Now you get to choose which one, you get to choose the activity, what we do, but we're going to work on our letters and our sounds. We're going to work on sight words. We're going to work on reading. We're going to work on whatever the goal is. Okay. And maybe it's that you lay it out as that we're doing this, but you get to pick how it's done. So I'm going to give you a handful of those activities that your child can pick and choose from. And I'm actually going to prep them all for you, okay? You don't have to print anything. I'm just going to bring all my resources, and after you tell me what's going on, we're going to pull the games and activities that are going to work for your child, okay? So that when you walk away, you've got a plan. Now, I'm not going to cut up all the cards because I don't got time for that. But I know that you don't have time to print and go to Office Max and collate everything. So I'm going to do all of that work for you and hand over a little stack of things for you to do that you're just going to have to cut apart and maybe put in baggies. Organize it so that it meets your style, okay? Then you're going to have a plan to work with your child to get them to learn their letters or get them to learn their sight words or get them to start reading, okay? And then I'm going to check in with you. So we'll kind of make a plan, like, do we want to check in July, or do we want to check in June, or do we want to just check in at the end of the summer and you can tell me how it went so that we kind of know what's going on going into kindergarten and I can help you kind of know how to navigate that, whatever's helpful. What I'm offering is basically 2 30-minute sessions of coaching with me and your plan to do this summer with your child, okay? It costs $97, and I'm just going to throw in A Parent's Guide to Kindergarten Readiness membership site that I've been sending you the videos, but all this stuff is actually on a membership site. And I'm going to give you your own login information so that you can have all the stuff and all the videos and all the things right at your fingertips to either reference or watch again or whatever, so that you just have it, okay? Why am I doing this? Because this is my passion. I have logged my 10,000 hours in elementary school classrooms, specifically K1 and 2, either teaching myself, coaching teachers on best practices, giving professional development to teachers, or working alongside kids myself. I have come alongside hundreds of kids and teachers and helping them create confident readers, writers, and thinkers in their classroom. And here's what I know. Every year, there are 4 to 6 kids in every single classroom who struggle learning to read. And it's just because it's who they are. It's how their brain works. It doesn't come naturally. It's not easy. But is it possible? Absolutely. And here's what I know. When kids enter kindergarten and they've kind of had trouble in preschool, they're going to keep having trouble in kindergarten. It just kind of happens. It's a rare few that pick it up and go, because maybe it was a maturity issue, or they just didn't care and now they do, or they have a best friend who can, so now they care about it. Who knows? That's a handful of kids. But the majority, if it came hard to them in preschool, it's going to continue to come hard to them until we figure out why, and until we figure out how their brain works, how they learn, and then all kids, I mean all kids, can learn how to read, and it doesn't have to be so hard, and parents can help without so much fighting and contention in their relationships, okay? So what I've learned is in kindergarten, when I'm working with kids who are having trouble learning to read, generally parents fall into 2 categories. They either had no idea, or they've known it all along, they just didn't know what to do about it. So I'm offering this because I'm trying to create change with that kind of pattern that happens in kindergarten. I want parents to be empowered to know, so that when you walk in the door with kindergarten, to your kindergarten teacher, you can from the get-go say, hey, we've been working on this stuff and I've seen great growth. I hope you continue to see it. Or we've been working on this stuff and they're struggling and I'm struggling and we need your help. You can be proactive from the beginning, because generally what happens in kindergarten is teachers take the first half of the year to just teach them how to walk in a line, sit on the floor, listen, follow directions, play nicely with their peers, do the stuff, and then they're teaching along with all of that. But then like December hits and they start to think, okay, who's getting it and who's not? So then we start our intervention in January. That's usually how it works. And so for what that means for kids is they've just spent how many months in the classroom kind of looking around and noticing that other people are getting it and I'm not. I'm just not a good reader. I always need help. I always have a helper to read for me. Kids notice all this stuff, and it impacts their confidence. And so what I'm on a mission to do is to fix that, because parents are the ones that can advocate for their kids. And I want all kids to feel confident about who they are, confident in their abilities, and have tools that they can use to overcome challenges. And it can happen as early as now, as early as 5. I also believe that if we awaken the brain to take in literacy, then they're going to listen to their teachers better, because they're going to have this I can attitude and this thirst for knowledge that happens through these activities that I've been teaching you guys to do in A Parent's Guide to Kindergarten Readiness. It's almost like you alert their brain to seek the information, and so it's going to soak in better if we do these things. Okay, so it's like you're setting your kid up for success versus a child that just plays all summer and, oh, reading's hard and we didn't do anything about it and whatever, and they get to kindergarten. Well, guess what they're going to do when the teacher starts teaching? Shut down, not listen, look around. That's what kids do. So we're trying to combat all of that. All right. So I just thought that I could offer coaching to any parents in Mount Zion who feel like your child would benefit from a little extra work this summer, whether that's in preparation for kindergarten or whether that's just, your child's 3 or 4 and it's not sticking and you're wanting to have a handful of tools to work with them, just to be a part of the journey and to know your child really well. Because what I know about you and I know about me is that all we want is our kids to succeed, right? We just want them to feel good about themselves, to feel successful, to take risks, to feel confident that, I'm willing to try because I can. And it might be hard work and I might have to do stuff, but I can. We want that I can attitude for our kids and we want them to feel successful. So if this is something that you think you would enjoy doing and you think your child would benefit from, all you need to do is click below and find a time to sign up for on the schedule. So you need to find the link to the Sign Up Genius, where I'm going to be meeting in East Cobb Park. They're 30-minute time slots that you can book for, and just come ready to share with me whatever you want to share with me, and I'll come with all my games and activities, and we will make a plan in those 30 minutes, and I'll send you on your way with everything you need. Okay? If you have any questions, you can always email me, and I'd be happy to talk to find out if even this is something that would be good for you and your child. I'm open, and I hope to see you. I hope that you'll use me as a resource for you and your child.